Hey there viewers, welcome back to another episode of VG APR Garaged. Today we're going to be working on a 2008 Lexus IS250. Let's get started. So we're going to be replacing the entire caliper, the pads, and the rotors. So let's go ahead and get started. I'm going to go ahead and disconnect this banjo bolt, and I'm going to install this tool on the line to stop it from leaking as much as it can. I am paying attention to the brake fluid reservoir as I do this job. And on this bad boy, this banjo bolt looks like it's a 12 millimeter. That's what it looks like. Reverse on 2. There we go, got it off. Pull the banjo bolt out, take this tool. Oh, there's a spider. Maybe he'll live. Spread it open, get in there, and now it can hang. We're gonna keep the banjo bolt. Actually, no, I think why does it have copper washers on it? I don't understand this. So this has a washer on it already. And then someone came back and put copper washers on it. I don't understand. I'm gonna go get a container so that can drip in. And because we're taking the entire caliper, we're replacing the entire thing, we're just gonna be removing the bolts in the back. And I believe, look, yeah, they're 17 millimeter. And we're just gonna be removing both of them. I like to loosen the top first, then come on down to the bottom and loosen it. That way you don't get any swing action. There we go. We're gonna keep these bolts. There we go. And this, basically the whole thing, looks like is gonna go. Come on. There we go. That was easy. Oh. Very clean. So before we put our new caliper on, we're going to spray the cleaned off hub with some fluid film. Right there, on the hub. And that should protect it because the new carbon rotor comes with a painted hat, but not the inside. And I've already cleaned the grease off that they used to ship it with. I'm going to grab a lug nut and just put a lug nut on to hold the rotor up. So now we need to begin building the new caliper. So here's the remanufactured caliper that I got from the auto parts store. It says right, the other one says left. We're obviously on the passenger side, so right. The other thing is you want the bleeder facing up. When it's on the car, it's going to be at the highest point and it's below the banjo bolt. Now what I'm going to do is, mainly because I'm a little anal, is I don't like these bolts. So I'm actually going to take the bolts off the core essentially now. To use here. Try to keep as much OEM parts as we can, but we have to see that's a completely different size. Kind of annoying. Yeah, I don't like that. I want to keep it the same. So put this on, take them off. And the other thing we want to do is we want to make sure that the guide pins are nice and lubed. And as you can see, the rubber boot isn't even on the slide pin, so that's obviously a problem. So take that, move it aside. It's a good idea to inspect it. I inspected it at the store. This one looks good. I don't tend to order caliper stuff from Rock Auto because normally, I mean, recently it's been customers are kind of in a rush, or we're only just finding out that they're having these types of issues, so I just purchased them from the store. It also makes the core a lot easier. I gotta get something, push that boot back. Because you can't, you know, if the caliper comes and it's damaged, there's not really much that I can do about it. I still gotta go to the store, so it's just easier. And then the cores have to be mailed back as well to Rock Auto. So this is kind of easier. And the other thing is, like, say the customer had time, we would paint. This one's actually painted. The other side, unfortunately, was not. But anyways, I'm never happy with the amount of grease that they put on. So I like to just take some silicone paste I get off of eBay and just put it down in the rubber boots. That's where the majority of the lube is going to stick. And then I'll reinsert them. Make sure that the boot is on there, on the groove, and it is. The other one in. Huh. And you know what? I think this one is actually on the other side. So pull this one out. And if you look, that boot's actually ripped. This is why we look. And luckily, we have a boot kit. I just have to figure out how to get this off. Let me figure that out. So these rubber boots aren't too hard to get out. They just have a metal sleeve on them. I think that's kind of a Toyota thing. And I just hit with a screwdriver and a hammer on this end, and it popped it right out. These ones by RayBestos, I'll have all the part numbers and stuff and prices. This is a much better version than what these came with. So again, we want to lube up those these boots. There we go. And now we want to put like pistons in, not pistons, but the guide pins in. Playing a little difficult. So that boot made it. We just got to make this boot make it. Right here. There we go. I heard the air release. We're going to push a little harder. Push. There we go. So we're good to go. Now the next thing is we need to make it so we don't have to deal with rust. So I have some high temp anti-seize, and we're going to put it on the wear area where rust tends to accumulate, which is right about here. Put that in there on both sides. There we are. So now we have two different kinds of clips. 1, 2, 3, and 4. So we have some clips that don't have big ears on them, and we have some clips that do. Now, when I pulled this off, the ones with the bigger ears were on the bottom sides, on this side. So that's the side I'm going to put them on. And they just clip right into place. There we go. You want to make sure that the spring side is on the outer side. Pop that right in there. And then same thing on this side. Let's pop these right in. There we go. And then this one. Pop that. Come on, let's get you in. Oh, it's scary. There we go. So these are now in. We have our pads right here. And then we have our wear indicators, which go on the trailing end. and they basically just clip right on the trailing end, but they can go on either end, but you want it on the trailing end. And it should look like that. We're going to take some high temp anti-seize and just lube up the ends, both sides. There we are. And now we're going to slide them in place. Push in. Oop. And there we go. Other side. Should fit right in. Oops. They should move freely like that one did. Alright. And there we are. Now we're going to go ahead and mount this to the car. So we got the Loctite on both bolts. We're going to take our caliper bracket with all the pads and all that fun stuff. We're going to put that in place. Put our top bolt in. Should be easy enough to thread in by hand. Start the next one. And it's not as easy as we'd like because it's a painted caliper, so we're going to use an impact on saying on one, and then we're going to have a light fall because that's what they do. There we go. Then we're going to take that 17 mil socket off, and we're going to torque these bolts down to 100 foot-pounds. And hopefully the camera isn't too much in the way. There's one. Let's get the top one. There we go. Torque to spec. Now, we're gonna get our new caliper. Set that right up in place. Come on. There we go. We've got our cleaned off old bolts, and we're going to put the Loctite on it. Sitting way too far away. There's one hole, 2 holes. There we are. The torque spec on these, I believe, is 25. I'm a little bit above that at, I think, 26, which isn't going to hurt anything. And let's torque these down. There we go. Make sure that upward one's still good. There we are. Now we're going to take this, what comes with it, this banjo bolt and stuff. I'm not using these. I'm going to reuse the OEM banjo bolt and the OEM washer, which is a really nice washer because it's both washers but they're tied together. So we're going to go ahead, undo this. It's going to leak. That's fine. We're going to find, this sits into a little hole just right there. We've got the OEM banjo bolt that we're going to put in. Make sure it's all lined up. Come on. What's going on with me? Not lined up well enough? Yeah, it wasn't lined up straight. So there we go. It's in there. Clean my hands off real quick before I touch some tools. And I'm gonna torque that down to near 25 foot-pounds. I don't want to go too crazy because we don't want to rip the threads out. That would really, really suck. An unbelievable amount. I think it's still a 12. That should be more than enough. Now, to make sure it's not leaking, brake clean. Clean it up. And then we'll like watch for dripping to make sure that it isn't, but chances are we're gonna be fine. And now the next thing we have to do is loosen up that bleeder valve, which unfortunately I don't have the OEM ones. It's a weird one. It's like a 7mm. And while I'm over getting that tool, I'm putting brake fluid in the reservoir. So let's pop this free. Oh, so now this one is a normal size. Oh my God, of course. This one is an 8. Yeah, it's an 8. So wait till we get some fluid out of it, which hopefully won't take too long. We got a little bit of a bubble there, so I'm gonna see if we can let some air out of there. There we go. Much better. And if we don't want to wait, just kind of how I feel, I'm not really in the mood to wait. And tighten it, loosen it a tiny bit. We're gonna take this. You on there, you on here. Hopefully it'll stay. And then I'm gonna go pump the brake. And you guys will see fluid come out. How does it look? I think it might pump a few more times. Alright, I'm just gonna go pump it a few more times. Then we should be good. Alright, we should be good. So let's tighten that up. This off. Not want it to go in there, but it did. And now, because I know this customer cares about this car, I'm gonna go ahead and spray some more fluid film. On there, spray it on there. Make sure it lasts a little bit longer. There. Alright, I think it's time we move to the back. So we've made it to the back. Things are not good back here either. This is the driver's side. I've already been on the passenger side, and it's just bad. The slide pins are not going to come out, and then every bushing is destroyed, or every boot is destroyed in this. The caliper, piston boot, and these boots are just no good. So unfortunately, this just has to go. So it's a 19mm bolt on top that you break free. And that's basically the only thing that holds this on. There is a lower guide pin, but that is stuck in with an Allen, and you just basically pull it off this. So we're gonna get this one off. So there we go, that's good. And then we're gonna hammer this off. And then back it off. And there we go. Now we have to undo that bolt, which is probably a 12. Oh, it's not a 12. Interesting how the fronts were 12s, but the back isn't. Maybe a 13 milli? No, you're gonna be a 14? I guess so. Alright, let's get this bad boy off. Come on. There we go. And then we're gonna put this tool on that again. And I'm obviously gonna go pick up some more brake fluid. While we're here, you guys wanna get the rotor off? Let's spin you, move you back, lift you up. So it has a parking brake in it. So of course it's gonna be a little difficult. So we're just gonna give it a couple taps. We also have the option of putting some screws in. We could do that. And that might be what we do. But I think I'm just gonna go with those calipers for right now. Alright, so I went and I got all the necessary new parts, but we need to get this rotor off. I have a bolt in the hole, so we're just gonna tighten that bolt down. Pretty tight, and let's pop onto this side, and there we go. Now this park and brake stuff is all relatively new. I did it not too long ago, so I think we're gonna be fine. The one thing we got to do is this adjuster is gonna need to be adjusted down for the new rotor. Let's see if we can get it to work, and we can. We're going to adjust it all the way down. Bunch of we going the wrong way. There we go. Let's go ahead and stop it there. We need to, actually, we can get the bracket off. I didn't realize that these actually came with brackets. I guess I'm a little dumb. I think these are 14mm. I'm gonna have to find my 14mm. There it is. One of these is a 14. That's a 14 right there. There we go. When the bolt's coming at you, you go in a clockwise. There we go, we got one free. Let's get the other one free. There we go, I got that free. Now let's wrench it off. So unfortunately, with the new caliper we got, the bracket's not correct. The hole is too big for the threads. It's the next size up. So we're gonna have to reuse this bracket, but we don't want to reuse that guide pin. And I want to clean these bolts up because someone put anti-seize on them, and you don't put anti-seize on mounting bolts. You can put some fluid film, but not anti-seize. I'm going to pop this off. There we go. Now I'm going to take a, what's this, 10mm Allen key and throw it at me myself. And we're going to take that, so this is a different size. God, someone's been here before. I don't like the work they did. Alright, let's try with this one. Came right out. Oh well, almost all in frame. So I'm going to go ahead and take this and clean this up before we put it back on. So I've already mounted the guide pin on this. And what I'm going to do now is put some Loctite on these threads in here, like so, for the mounting bolts. I'm sure my hand's in the way. It's weird doing it with this hand. I guess I got it. The next one in. And I know, it does need a new dust shield, and I'm sure the customer will want to do it, but it really needed brakes now, not later. Sorry, my hand's going to be in the way. There we go, next one. And there we go. Now the other thing I want to do is I want to clean this surface. There we are. Where's my brake clean? It's on the bench right where it doesn't belong. Let's spray that down. All up in here too. Let's get all that nice and clean. Clean as we can. Alright, before we put the rotor on, you know it, fluid film. Get that on there. Also in other spots of the car. Oops, I didn't mean to put it there. It's fine though. Alright, let's see what we got with this rotor and this parking brake. That's too tight. Pop it off. Probably making it larger. There's my flathead. I think that's larger. Make it a little bit smaller. Let's test it out now. too much. I think that's too much. Back it up just a little bit more. Probably I'm making it larger again. See how smart I am. I still think that's a little too tight. Probably just making it tighter. Am I making it tighter? I can never tell. Yeah, I was making it larger. Alright, now let's try. A little too much. I can hear a little bit of drag. All right, happy with that. We're gonna grab a nut, put that on. Now, we're gonna take some lube, a little bit more to that. There we go. Now we're going to take our caliper. There we go. Now I'm going to try and sit down here. And that'll be too much in the way. Take our caliper. I'm going to put it on there. It's nice. We're going to swing it up. Well, I was hoping it would say it's not gonna, but I want to lube this pin up. And then Permatex in that hole. There we go. Done with that. Bring this up into place. Push it through that hole. There we go. 19 millimeter. Right in. All right, so now it's break time. We got our new RayBestos pads. Maybe you can see the part number on there. Wear indicator inside, trailing edge. Pop you in, pop this in. Now we have to take this clip here. It's going to go in these holes, go over and inside in between both pads. There we go. Now we've got our slide pins that have little holes in them. I'm going to lube the crap out of these with anti-seize. I'll be right back when I get my anti-seize. We got our pins and anti-seize. We're going to coat them up. We do not want these getting stuck. Just coat the crap out of them. Rotate a little bit so that we can get the other side. Or drop one. I thank God I didn't get it on me. And put it through. You might have to push the pad up a little bit to line it up. It's got to go through the pad and the clip. So there we go. Around the other side, putting it through the pad and the clip. There's the clip. A little bit of persuasion. There we go. And all the way to the other side. We got our other pin that we need to finish lubing up. Lube the crap out of it. You do not want these getting stuck. In fact, I would recommend going back once a year and making sure that these pins are not stuck. Like that's how crucial it is that these pins don't get stuck. Alright, I need to clean my hands off. Now, the last clip is this one right here. Hopefully, it's this one right here. It's gonna go in those tiny holes that are in the guide pins. I'm gonna try to do this and not be in your way. So we got one hole there, and then the other hole is where? Sorry guys, I gotta be in your way. I gotta see this. I can't see that hole. Wonder if it would be easier. Let me see about starting at the bottom one. Did I find it? There, I found it. Now, kind of rotate this, push that. I had a pin. Or a pick that I was using to make it a little bit easier. I'm gonna hook the pick in here. Sorry guys, I gotta be able to see this. Rotate this pin a little bit further down. This one came out. Rotate this one up. So close, but so far. Oh, the pin moved. Come on. Get in there. Shoot. Put it in the bottom. Oh, this is difficult. Where is that hole? There it is. That hole is going to be hidden by that spring. It's going to be a little difficult to see. I know I'm in the way, and I'm sorry. There we go, got that one in. Now, come up here, try to align it to this one, which is a lot easier, because I didn't have it in the hole, I had it underneath the whole pin. So that's how you set that up. Next, we gotta bleed brakes, so I'll get back to you when we start bleeding. Alright, so we need two things. This rubber cap, put that there. And then we want to put on the banjo bolt and the brake line. Right here, there's a little hole that the brake line, I guess you could say ear is gonna fit into. Undo this. Oh, the washer is exactly what we don't want to do. Need to clean those off now. There we go. Disconnect this. We want bolt or washer, bolt, through with washer, and then we're gonna set it in place and start by hand to get that bolt in. You absolutely want to start these by hand. Do not start these with an impact. They should go in easily with your hand. That washer back. And the other thing you want to be doing is making sure that while you're doing this, that your brake fluid reservoir is in good shape. I have more than enough in there. There we go, that feels good. Want to make sure that that brake line is in, that ear is in that hole. Alright, clean my hands off real quick, and this is an 11 mil. Tighten that up. Alright, don't go too crazy on it. Spray some brake clean. Make sure we're not leaking anywhere, specifically in that area. Give it one more little tug. I'm happy with that. We're not leaking. Let me make sure we're not leaking. Don't see anything. All right, I'll be back during bleeding. So, the person who remanufactured these was mean and decided I'm going to use a 7mm. So, we're going to break it free with a 7mm. Put that on there like so, and then I'm going to go pump the brake. And you guys will see air and then fluid come out. Alright, so all the air should be out. Pop this up real quick. Don't see air coming out. And we'll tighten that down. So, well, I was right in the way of all of that, wasn't I? So hopefully all of that wasn't too out of focus. But that's how you replace front rotors, pads, calipers on a 2007, 2012, second gen Lexus IS250. If you like this video, thumbs up. Didn't, thumbs down. Questions and comments, they're going to be, down around here. Think about liking and subscribing. Ring that bell, helps me out. Clean your tools off. Oh, the most important thing, anytime you do brakes, pump the pedal before you go anywhere. Turn the car on, leave it in park, pump, pump, pump until you feel that pedal come back. You got to allow fluid to go back into the pistons. That's the most important thing. Of course, torquing stuff down, but that's pretty important. You need to stop when you go. Clean your tools off, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.